All right, so if you are thinking of moving to Minnesota, or you just moved here and you're trying to figure out why is everybody inviting me up to the cabin, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Mackenzie Rasmus. I'm a real estate advisor here in the Twin Cities. And today we are not talking about housing. We are talking about something way more important. We're talking about okay, what does it actually mean to be Minnesotan? What's part of the cultural zeitgeist of Minnesota? Because Minnesota, it's not really just a place. In my humble opinion, it's also a personality type. Love them or hate them, we gotta talk about it. Now, there are things that nobody talks about when you move here. There's cultural rules. There's unspoken traditions. There's foods that sound fake, but that I swear are very, very real. So whether you've been here your whole life and you just want to feel seen and validated for a hot second, or you're relocating and you're trying to understand what you signed up for, buckle up. We're covering everything from the state fair to tater tot Hotdish to the Minnesota passive aggressiveness that you didn't realize that you signed up for. Let's get into it. We have to start here. The Minnesota State Fair, it is not just a fair. It is a statewide sabbatical, holiday, if you will, religion. It is 12 days of organized chaos and deep fried everything. And Minnesotans treat it like it is Christmas and the Super Bowl had a baby and they stuffed it at a bunch of parking lots in Falcon Heights. The Great Minnesota Get Together runs for 12 days from August 27th through Labor Day. Nearly 2 million people come through those gates. 2 million in 12 days, just to give you an idea of scale. What are they doing, you might ask? Eating, one. They're eating things on a stick that have no business being on a stick. You've got deep fried pickles on a stick. You've got also just deep fried pickles. You've got bacon on a stick, cookie dough on a stick, deep fried cookie dough on a stick, deep fried cookie dough. If it exists, someone at the fair has figured out how to impale it so you can eat it. Oh, don't skip on the pork chop on a stick. Ugh, chef's kiss, so good. But it's not just the food. You've got the Miracle of Birth Center where you can literally watch a calf being born while eating a corn dog. And that sentence is probably the most Minnesotan thing I've said on the channel. You've got butter sculptures, you've got crop art, you've got the grandstand concerts, you've got seed art. Yes, seed art. Someone literally made a portrait of Prince using seeds. Insane. And then here's what actually something a lot of people don't necessarily know. The State Fair also kicks off the beginning of summer as well. We just had over Memorial Day weekend the kickoff to summer, which takes place over 4 days. The State Fair opens up a part of the grounds and they have some similar foods and drinks and concerts, but on a much smaller scale with limited attendance. If you can snag one of those tickets, because they always sell out, highly recommend that you do so. It's so fun. If you're new to Minnesota, I always recommend go to the State Fair. It sums up what it means to be Minnesotan. Not going to the State Fair would be like living in New York and then never trying their pizza. Like, yeah, you could do it, but why? You're there, you might as well. That's the quintessential experience. You got to do it. Also, pro tip, Minnesotans may judge you for not going to the State Fair. They'll never say it. By the way, if Minnesotans ever judge you, I promise you, they will never say it to your face. All right, so speaking of talking to your face, let's talk about the Minnesota goodbye. If you've never experienced this, let me paint you a picture. You're at a friend's house, dinner is over, and you look to your partner and say, well, we should get going. And then you talk for 45 more minutes. You talk by the table. You talk while you're putting on your coat. You talk in the hallway. You talk at the door. You talk at the porch. You talk while you're walking to your car. You talk with them when you get in your car. You got to roll down your window and then you lean on the door some more and then you have a little bit more conversation. And then you wave goodbye. You talk for 5 more minutes and then you're pulling out of the driveway. I don't really know why this came into existence. I think we worry that we're going to offend somebody if we just said, all right, now we're leaving, and then we just peaced out. But it is a weird detail of what it means to live in Minnesota. Speaking of what it means to live in Minnesota, I'm just going to say this, and I'm just going to be direct, straight to the point. The game is called Duck, Duck, Gray Duck. The game is not called Duck, Duck, Goose. Every other state plays it wrong. I'm sorry, I will not be taking any questions on this topic. Minnesota is the only state that plays it correctly. And if you move here, sorry guys, you will convert. You don't have a choice. It's actually in the lease agreement, so sorry. The funny part is Minnesotans will pretty much let anything slide. But if you say goose for some reason you're playing this childhood game, it's on at the barbecue, okay? You will see a level of emotional intensity you would think that you're at a Vikings game. Now, if you call it casserole, take a seat in my office. Have a seat. It's Hotdish. The word is Hotdish. A casserole is something that your aunt in Ohio makes. No shade, but a hot dish is a Minnesotan institution. And then tater tot hot dish, is the flagship. It's ground beef, cream and mushroom soup, you've got corn or green beans, and a golden blanket of tater tots until it is baked to crispy perfection. No notes. Now, every family has their version. Some people add cheese. Some people add the third hardest thing to say in the English language. I'm sorry, I love you, and Worcestershire sauce. And some people even get wild and throw in jalapenos, which that's a little bit of a stretch for us Minnesotans because we don't like when things get spicy. Ketchup is even a little bit of spice too much sometimes. And honestly, good for them. Way to expand people's horizons. All jokes aside, the reason why Minnesotans, I think, love hot dish is that hot dish is community food, right? You're not just going to make hot dish for yourself, you're going to make it for other people to share and dine with. It shows up also in times of community, like at church potlucks or funerals, or if somebody is having a hard day in Minnesota. One of the most beautiful things that warms my heart is if I actually saw this. I saw my neighbor bring over some hot dish, some homemade hot dish, and I was smiling the rest of the day. Okay, so let's talk though about something that I do get a lot of questions about, and that's the Minnesota Nice. Now you've heard about it, and now you might think that everyone is, super friendly, which is true, and they are welcoming, but there is another side to that coin. Minnesotans are genuinely kind people. They will give you directions. They will dig your car out of a snowbank. They will bring you bars. Bars, by the way, are like dessert. Think Rice Krispie bars, Scotcheroos, etc. But Minnesota Nice also has a shadow side. It means we will be incredibly polite to your face and then process our real feelings on the car ride home. What it means is that we don't do confrontation. We do the, oh no, that's fine. That's fine. When in fact, it is definitely not fine. For example, anytime I did something like I did a weird performance or something as a kid growing up, my grandma would always go, well, that's interesting, rather than absolutely not, that's so weird, what are you doing? Also, another one, yeah, we should totally do that. They have no intention of actually making those plans. If you're moving here for a more direct culture, you're not gonna find that here. I think Minnesotans care very deeply, and sometimes they don't want to offend the other person. But if you are coming here and you are direct, I welcome that because I think Minnesotans should be able to be more transparent about how they're actually feeling. All right, so let's talk about the cabin. We're going up north. No H, N-O-R-T. So Minnesota has over 10,000 lakes. We're the land of 10,000 lakes, but we're actually being humble about it in that we have over 12,000, fun fact. If you have a cabin on one of those lakes, oh, you are about to be so popular. If you have kids and you have a cabin, oh, your kids are about to be so popular. Going up to the cabin, it's not just a vacation, it is a lifestyle. You make it a point to go up pretty much every weekend during the summer, at least if you can. It's an identity. It is the reason why Minnesotans survive the winter and then try to get outside and enjoy the weather so much, because it's just freaking beautiful in this state in the summer. By the way, if you're new here, the highest compliment a Minnesotan can give you is inviting you up to their cabin. That is a huge sign of admiration and respect. You will fish, you will pontoon, you will sit around the campfire for long stretches and look up into the sky and have s'mores and drink some adult beverages, and it's just a grand old time. That's just the cabin magic. Let me also touch on winter. I've talked about it a little bit in other videos, but yes, we put up with winter to then enjoy time outside, but we also do get outside during the winter as well. We play pond hockey, we go ice fishing, we go snowshoeing, we go to the St. Paul Winter Carnival, we go snowmobiling. And the unspoken rule about this is that you are not allowed to complain about the winter if you also complain about the summer. You don't get to have your cake and eat it too. Pick a lane. If you're going to complain about it being too humid and hot and having our state bird, i.e. the mosquito, come at you 52 times in a night, that's one thing. But then you can't be complaining about the winter when it's, negative 50, seemingly below zero. You got to just decide what side of the coin you're on, my friend, okay? And I say that with love. The starter kit, by the way, for your first winter. I will say, anecdotally, the winters have been getting milder and milder, so maybe you don't necessarily need to get what's the fancy one? A Goose Island? Canadian geese. Wow. Just get a good parka. or at least some winter jacket that will be able to keep the wind chill when it gets to be really bad the second week of January. You just need something to survive that stretch. I think wool socks are great. And also, this is a saying that we have, understanding that it's not the cold that gets you, it's the wind. All right, so last minute couple rapid fire round. These are just part of things of what it means to be Minnesotan. Saying "ope," O-P-E, when you bump into somebody, like, "Oh, sorry," you're reaching past them for something. "Oh, just gonna sneak right past you." It's not a word, it's not a saying, it's honestly just like a reflex at this point. This one pains me because frankly, I'm more in the blue cheese camp, but Minnesotans put ranch on everything. Pizza, wings, vegetables. If they could have a direct injection into the bloodstream of ranch, I'm pretty sure Minnesotans would find a way to do that. The Vikings. We love them, we hate them, we love to hate them. Frankly, it's an abusive relationship, but we're not leaving, so there's always next year. Saying "you betcha." Now, some people do think that this is a joke, but it's not a joke. It's punctuation, and you will hear it from time to time, particularly the farther you get out of the cities. It gets really bad. Target. I know there's all of the political elements. I'm not talking about Target in a political aspect, but Target is a part of the cultural zeitgeist of what it means to be Minnesotan. It was founded here, and some people call it Target. They call it the big red house. Frankly, it's just Minnesotans will always have their Target love. Prince. Now, Prince is from here. He is royalty. We love Prince. The First Avenue Purple Wall is a great mural that's downtown. We also love Bob Dylan. There's another mural of him downtown Minneapolis as well. It's just something that we really appreciate, our homegrown talent. Juicy Lucy. Juicy Lucy is a burger with cheese stuffed between two patties. Now, the controversy is, who do you think invented the Juicy Lucy? On one side, you have Matt's. On the other side, you have 5-8. Same thing as the whole Minnesota summer complaint. You just got to pick a lane. You got to put your stake in the ground saying, yep, this is who I believe started the Juicy Lucy. My personal opinion, try them both, and then you just get to decide which one you like better. Now, Lake Minnetonka. Prince talked about purifying himself from the waters of Lake Minnetonka. It's good enough for the rest of us. I highly recommend you come check it out. It is the most popular lake here in the Twin Cities, and my office, I'm looking out at the lake right now, is right along the shores of Lake Minnetonka. So if you are walking along the lake, be sure to stop by and say hello. Would love to see you. And finally, Skol. Skol, S-K-O-L, is how we cheer as Vikings fans. We do the Skol chant at the beginning, and it is so fun. Okay, if you are relocating to the Twin Cities, like I said, I put together a free relocation guide that's down below in my stand store. Feel free to download that. Again, it's totally free and will help kind of guide you and point you in the right direction. And if you have other questions and you want to schedule a free consultation with me, all of my information is in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching this. I had a lot of fun making this, and I will see you in the next one.